Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, text number 10 to 12. Ditiruvacha Eshaha Mam Tvatkrute Vidvan Esha Mam Tvatkrute Vidvan Kamaha Attasarasanaha Kama Attasarasanaha Dunoti Deenam Vikramya Dunoti Deenam Vikramya Rambham Iva Matam Gajaha Rambham Iva Matam Gajaha Ditirvacha Eshamam Tatkrute Vidvan Kama Atta Sarasanaha Dunoti Deenam Vikramya Rambham Iva Matam Gajaha Ditirvacha Eshamam Tatkrute Vidvan Kama Atta Sarasanaha Dunoti Deenam Vikramya Rambham Iva Matam Gajaha. Ditiruvacha, beautiful Diti said, Eshaha, all these, Mam, unto me, Tvatkrute, for you, Vidvan, O learned one, Kamaha, Cupid, Attasarasanaha, taking his arrows, Dunoti, distresses, Deenam, poor me, Vikramya, attacking, Rambham, banana tree, Iva, like, Matam Gajaha, mad elephant. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. In that place, the beautiful Diti expressed her desire. A learned one, Cupid is taking his arrows and distressing me forcefully, as a mad elephant troubles a banana tree. Please repeat the translation. In that place, the beautiful Diti expressed her desire. O learned one, Cupid is taking his arrows and distressing me forcefully, as a mad elephant troubles a banana tree. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Beautiful Diti, seeing her husband absorbed in trance, began to speak loudly, not attempting to attract him by bodily expressions. She frankly said her whole body was distressed by sex desire because of her husband's presence, just as a banana tree is troubled by a mad elephant. It was not natural for her to agitate her husband when he was in trance, but she could not control her strong sexual appetite. Her sex desire was like a mad elephant, and therefore it was the prime duty of her husband to give her all protection by fulfilling her desire. Next two verses I'll recite myself. Tadbhavan dahyamanayam sapatninam samruddhibihi prajavatinam badramte mayi akuntam anugraham. Therefore, you should be kind towards me by showing me complete mercy. I desire to have sons, and I am much distressed by seeing the opulence of my co-wives. By performing this act, you shall become happy. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, sexual intercourse for begetting children is accepted as righteous. A person sexually inclined for simple sense gratification, however, is unrighteous. In Diti's appeal to her husband for sex, it was not exactly that she was afflicted by sex desire, but she desired sons. Since she had no sons, she felt poorer than her co-wives. Therefore, Kashyapa was supposed to satisfy his bona fide wife. Bhartari aptor mananam lokan avishate yashaha patir bavad vido yasham prajaya nanu jayate. A woman is honored in the world by the benediction of her husband. And a husband like you will become famous by having children because you are meant for the expansion of living entities. According to Rishabhadeva, one should not become a father or mother unless one is confident that he can beget children whom he can deliver from the clutches of birth and death. Human life is the only opportunity to get out of the material scene, which is full of miseries of birth, death, old age and diseases. Every human being should be given the opportunity to take advantage of this human form of life. And a father like Kashyapa is supposed to beget good children for the purpose of liberation. Presents the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamy Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, we saw the situation where Diti was agitated by sexual desires. She approached her husband who was in trance. So she was submitting her request in a systematic way. Why she required children? What is her problem? So first thing she mentioned was, Yeshamam tvatkrute vidvan. Oh my dear learned one, vidvan. Kama ata sarasanaha. There is Cupid with his bow and arrows, Ata Sarasanaha. Dunoti Dinam Vikramya. He is trying to conquer me. Vikramya. Dunoti. He is attacking me. Dinam, I am a poor woman. Rambamiva Matangajaha. Just as a mad elephant attacks a banana tree, this Cupid personified is attacking me. Then it says, Tad bhavan dahyamanayam sapattinam samruddhibihi. Therefore, your good self should understand how I am being distressed. Dahyamananam sapattinam samruddhibihi. The situation is my co-wives. The co-wives are not somebody else outside. They are her sisters only. So, they are all having children. Like Aditi had children, somebody else had children. So other wives were having children, so she was feeling like their opulence because of having a child is more. Because I don't have children, it is I am like a poor lady in front of others, co-wives. Prajavatim badramte. For those who have children, all auspicious, all prosperity is there for them. Mai ayuntam anugraham. So therefore, please bestow upon me also that mercy that I may get my children. I may be equally be in their social status also by having children from my side. Bhartari aptor mananam lokan avishate yashaha. So the husband, because of his having children with the wife, lokan avishate yashaha. In the world, his name will be glorified. Patir bhavad vido yasham prajaya nanu jayate. So a husband like you, who is very good self, by having children, he will also automatically expand your family tree. Now here the point we have to understand, three reasons she gave. The first one was, Cupid is attacking me. So please protect me. I require protection, somebody is attacking me. The second one, my co-wives are having nice opulences by having children. I am being distressed. So they may look down upon me. So I also want a similar opulence because I am also faithfully serving you. How they are serving you, I am also serving you. The third one is by having children, your name and fame will be glorified across the world. And the children will continue the process of your family life. So in that way, in these 3 verses, she was giving logical reason from her side why she wanted children. So, what does Shastra say about this Cupid? It is said that Cupid has 5 arrows. He is known as Pushpa Bana. These 5 arrows are called as Pushpa Bana. So, but they are also associated with 5 effects that desire has on one afflicted by it. These are subtle concepts. When somebody is influenced by Cupid, what goes on in their mind? So they are called as Sammohanaha, Kshobanascha, Dahanaha, Shoshanastata, Uchatanascha, Kamascha, Bana, Pancha Prakritaha. This is explained by Prabodhananda Saraswati in one of his commentaries. He says the 5 arrows of Kamadeva are fascination, disturbance, burning, desiccation and destruction. So similarly, Amarkosha dictionary, which is known as Sanskrit grammar dictionary, like we have English dictionary, Oxford. Similarly, for Sanskrit, Amarkosha is a dictionary. One of the famous dictionaries. Then there is Nirukti dictionary is there, different dictionaries are there. So Amarkosha says, Unmadana stapanascha shoshanaha stambanastata sammohanascha kamascha panchabana prakritidaha. Intoxication, inflicting of heat or pain, desiccation, immobilization and bewilderment. And other qualities also are enhanced to the perspective by saying akarshanaha. When you see somebody, you become attracted to them, akarshanaha. Then there is madana, there is craving for that subject. Then there is marana, a situation like without him I cannot survive. It's a killing like situation. Then vashikaranaha means we come under the subjugation of that opposite sex. Vashikaranaha. And many of these appear to be similar to the 5 kinds of black magic rituals. So, the here perspective is when somebody of superior nature is attacking us, how do we protect ourselves? So she has taken the proper decision of approaching her husband. Because there are certain qualities that are meant as for training for a husband and certain qualities are meant for training for a wife. So what Shastras say, so in some collective quotes in Prabhupada's teachings we understand, to have good population, women should be very chaste. So this is perspective you read in Bhagavad Gita, Varna Shankara. In that context, Prabhupada explains in various purports, sir, how systematically a degradation of society happens. So this is the basic principle of Vedic civilization. And to keep women chaste, the father, or in the absence of father, the elder brother was responsible. She must get the girl married, and it is a compulsory. For a boy, it is not a compulsory because he can lifetime stay as a brahmachari. But he should commit by that word. But for women, she requires protection at all stages. In childhood, father is protective. In youth, husband protects her. In the old age, sons protect her. But if a woman is not protected very strictly, it will become very difficult. But if a girl is trained from the very beginning, you should remain chaste. That is dharma. It is called as satita dharma. Sati means chastity. So, what is female psychology? The first man she meets in her life, she becomes the staunch lover. Therefore, especially in India, in Bengal, Before a woman attains puberty, she is married. This is the olden day style. When they are 8 to 10 years old, a woman is married. So there is a scientific evolution. It's not that people may treat this is Moda Namaka, something wrong perceptus. You are not evolved. But there is a technical calculation for it. Because she continues to stay at her father's house until she attains puberty, but she must know, I am married, I got my husband. So then she becomes very chaste to him because she constantly thinks of her husband and she becomes more and more devoted to him. The arrangement of getting a girl married before puberty is called as Kanya Dana. The father must get the daughter married, and this is Dharma. When people become neglectful of such traditions and religious principles, women belonging to respectable families become polluted, and it is called as Kulastriyaha. When the situation is not followed, then Varna Shankara comes. See, when Arjuna was giving various reasons, you fight in the war, men will die. When men dies, women are forlorn, nobody took care, they are not protected. And there are some men who would like to exploit these women who are not there for protection. So in that way, there is every opportunity that women can get carried away and there will be unwanted population. And this, because of this Varna Shankara, there will be no rules, no regulations, no training happening to them because there are no seniors to guide them in the house. So there will be no regulations and no duties performed in the house. In that way, a Varna Shankara situation comes, whole society is at chaos. But Krishna refuted this perspective by saying that when you don't do your duty, then Varna Shankara happens. The third chapter, Krishna clearly says, even though I have no duty, I still perform my duties. There is nothing binding for me, but still I execute my duties as a responsibility. If I don't do my duty, people will take me as an example and they will quote me and they will become lazy. And I will be the cause of destruction of happiness and peace in the world. Then comes Varna Shankara population. So in that perspective, it is responsible that in Vedic culture, a woman should not be allowed to freely mix with men. And the system was prevalent in India many days. In older days, women were respectfully treated. Wherever they used to go, Prabhupada used to say that even Prabhupada's mother had to travel from his house to the next house. She used to go inside a palanquin. Means people cannot see respectable women by their face. Even it is next house also, they used to go in palanquin. A social culture. Woman without husband cannot talk with any man, and this is also called as psychological. It is said that in Bhagavatam, man is like ghee or butter pot and woman is like fire. Therefore, as soon as fire comes near the butter pot, the butter must melt. Therefore, they should be kept separate. Even Acharyas have given a perspective by saying, Matra swastra duhitra va navi vikshashano bhavet balavan indriya kramo vidvamshamapi karshat. So, even if it is your own mother, sister or daughter, a man is not allowed to personally interact with him in a lonely place because mind is so crazy, it can resort to any kind of negative perspectives. You cannot trust the mind. It can make the man of intelligence to go crazy. Vidvamsham api karshati. Vidvamsam means it's a destruction. So for this, what is the beneficial thing? How to come out of the situations? So Shastra recommends samskaras. These are called as Dashavida samskara. And starts from Garbhadana samskara. So chastity is very important for producing good population. If the population turns hippies, how can there be peace and prosperity in the world? To produce good children, the samskaras are must. Samskara means it is a purificatory process. the consciousness is purified. The first one is called as Garbhadana Samskara. So like that, Garbhadana Samskara, marriage Samskara, then Mundan, then Karna, Annaprashna, Vidyaramba. Like that, 10 prominent Samskaras are there. Generally there are 16 Samskaras, Shodasha, but 10 are very prominent. So in some places Prabhupada says, according to heart situation, the semen takes the form of a body. According to Vedic system, when begets a child, his heart should be purified through ritualistic ceremony known as Garbhadana. Because what consciousness the parents carry at the time of sexual intercourse, that kind of living entity they attract into the womb of the mother. So it is very important. If you want godly children to come, your consciousness should be in godly situation. So one should be trained in spiritual understanding as a brahmachari before entering household life to beget children. So this is for a boy. He should be properly trained. You are entering into a system. It is your responsibility. Like how a girl is trained in chastity, a boy is trained in brahmacharya, regulating senses. Marrying and begetting a child is considered as to liquidate one's debts to the family in which one is born. So what is the perspective here? If you have children, the children will perform Shraddha ceremonies. In that way, the ancestors will receive the punya regularly. So in that way, you are clearing of the debts connected to your Pitar Devatas. So it is your responsibility. One can beget hundreds of children and enjoy celestial pleasure of sexual intercourse, provided he is able to train the children in God consciousness. Otherwise, begetting children is on the level of pig. Pig also every 6 months will give piglets. A dozen piglets it will give. What is the use? Sex is allowed only for begetting children and not for enjoyment. The perspective of it is only for producing children. One can indulge in sex to beget a good child for the benefit of the family, society and world. So if you are bringing good conscious children means it is for the benefit of the entire world. Not only your family, not only your society and for the entire world. Otherwise sex is against the rules and regulations of religious life. It says, Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatashrava. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, I am that sex life. So when Krishna is saying that, when it is as per rules and regulations, that is me. The father and mother should have discrimination that the child I produce, I give birth. If I cannot teach him Krishna conscious, surrender to Krishna, I shall not beget any children. So parents are also having responsibility. Because Rishabhadeva says, Pita nasasyad, Mata nasasyad, Janani nasasyad, Samupeta mrutyam. If you cannot deliver them from the cycle of birth and death, do not take the responsibility. Because a father is a post, a mother is a post, a guru is a post. So if you are accepting the responsibility of the post, you should go by the commitment of that post also. The mental state of the father and mother before sex will certainly affect the mentality of the child to be begotten. A child who is begotten out of lust may not turn out as parents desire. Yata yonir yata bijam. So these are some of the perspectives. So there was one story I was just reading in the context wise. There was a doctor's family, wife and husband. They are in Pune. So they are practicing Krishna consciousness. So there are some patients who used to regularly visit their clinic. So one particular family came to them and requested them that they want to abort their child. So the husband and wife tried to preach to them, no, this is not good. Aborting a child means you are killing the responsibility. And the consequences, what happens, like Bhagavatam perspective we all have heard. What happens if you kill a child in the womb, that we don't get an opportunity to see sunlight for so many lifetimes. So they had done that responsibility and they said to go and think and come back. But we are not going to do that. So after 15 days, they came back again and they said, Swamiji, we wanted to keep the child. Doctor, we want to keep the child. So now since they are in a little sattvic position, the lady suggested the other pregnant lady. So Shastras say, so when you are in the pregnancy stage, it is very good that you read Krishna Katha. And she gifted him her Krishna book. So these pastimes will give a good consciousness for the child who is in the womb. So this lady systematically read that Krishna book. And the situation people forgot, both the doctor family forgot also. After 6 years, suddenly they saw that family came to the clinic with a boy who is 5 years old, with a kantimala, with a tilak, and chanting the holy name. And the parents are not devotees, please understand. Parents are not devotees. And this boy eats only prasadam. And the consciousness, you see why it is important. When the mother is pregnant, the aspect of reading Krishna Katha. Every Sunday he visits the temple and he eats only prasadam in the house. Now he started learning all the shlokas, he wants to join for the Sunday school, and see how the consciousness has impacted. Now the mother, she came and she said to the doctor, female doctor, actually I am not his mother, you are his mother. Because that day you protected him, so you are his real mother. Then this lady out of humility said, no, it is by the will of Lord he has been protected and he is Krishna's mercy for you. So how situations appear in one's life? We don't understand how Krishna also plays situations so that we also get an opportunity to understand this subtle analysis. And sometimes if you see in spirituality, this is one more story on book distribution only, how one book can impact one's life. So there were some Burma doctors who are attending a medical convocation in New York City. So while they were traveling in the train or on the street, they met one devotee who gave them a book, Bhagavad Gita. So the devotee also showed them the Dashavataras in the book and pointed out to Lord Buddha, and the doctors bought the book. So when they went back to the hotel and looked the Bhagavad Gita, they thought, what a minute, this is not a book about Buddhism. So since they have already purchased it, they took it back. So when they went back to Burma, they gave it to a Hindu doctor because it might be of his more religious influence. But this Hindu doctor is a Shankaracharya follower. So when he saw the Bhagavad Gita book written by Prabhupada, he read one or two statements. This book is entirely about bhakti and Shankaracharya doesn't preach about bhakti. This book is not meant for me. He kept it in his pile of collection in that books. For many years that book is lying there. After some years, he had a son who was around 8 to 10 years old. So he wanted to learn English. He was looking for some book where he can understand English and practice English. So he saw that one big hard book of English. He took that book, he kept one dictionary next to him, and every second and third word he is trying to read through dictionary and he is trying to understand what its meaning is. But sincerity of his practice of reading that book through learning English, by the time he reached the ending of 6th chapter, this boy became a sincere devotee of Krishna consciousness. And over a period of time, he became such a way that he became instrumental in starting around 15-20 temples in Burma. Means preaching centers everywhere across Burma. And at the end, even his father became a devotee. See how one small perspective can create an opportunity. When Prabhupada says, my books are like bombs, atom bombs. So, somewhere in America that book is sold and somebody in Burma is becoming devotee. So, this is the spiritual perspective. And when we go to book distribution, these are the personal realizations what we come across. What is meant for whom, we don't know. How Lord has planned, how Guru has planned. A similar situation was there. This was in Germany. So there was one book distributor who was going street by street, distributing books. So there was one crazy man with no shirt. He was having a belt in his hand. And he was hitting anyone and everyone who was coming on the way with that belt. So this devotee wanted to avoid the situation, because he is an odd man out. If you see all common man, devotee is always an odd man out in the appearance. He will be the center of attraction in a group. So he left the main roads and went away to smaller roads. So suddenly he saw that man is following with the belt. So not to appear like panic, not to appear like running away from the situation, he was going and he was talking to one lady. He was asking her about purchasing a book. Suddenly her expression in the face became so surprised that this person came from behind and pushed this man, and he was standing on him with the belt raised up, about to hit him on his back. So he did not remember anything. He only could remember Narasimha. And with all his heart, he prayed to Narasimha, Namaste Narasimha. He started singing. And to everyone's surprise, that lunatic man, his hand was stuck up in the air. He could not move his hand. He was holding like that situation, and he was like, it's almost like a stunned situation. After some time, he was still on the floor only. He saw a big police battalion coming. 15-20 commandos came out. They pulled this man. They kicked him left and right. They loaded him into the van. And they were stamping on him on the van. And he was still on the floor only. He was seeing the situation after. After he was taken away, after a couple of minutes he got up. And all the people were surprised. Then this person got up and said, now the show is over, all of you please purchase these wonderful books. You can also become very nice personalities. So these are all personal realizations. How Lord is there to protect us. And devotees are also very smart. They utilize every situation how to promote Krishna consciousness. So similarly, one of the mood of devotees is compassion for others. Compassion for other devotees. This is in one context wise between Hanuman and Tulsidas. So Hanuman, Tulsidas was trying to have mercy on Lord Ramachandra. So Hanuman explained to him, if you want to have darshan of Lord Ramachandra, you have to go to Chitrakoot. Because Lord Ramachandra comes there regularly. So on the order of Hanuman, he came to Chitrakoot. He was standing near that river there, and he was waiting for the Lord. Lord came as a prince, not decorated, like a common man on horses. Rama and Lakshmana came on horses. So Hanuman was also nearby, but he could not perceive, because Lord, unless he reveals himself, we can never understand about the Lord. We can never know Lord. So he was waiting there. After Lord went away, Lord vanished from there. Hanuman came and said, "Are you missed the opportunity?" Lord came and went away. Then he was pleading, please give me an opportunity, one more. The Hanuman said, "No, one more opportunity I will give you. But this time you have to be very attentive, because Lord is very clever. He will not give the opportunity to be revealed." So next time, Tulsidas was grinding sandalwood paste so that he could decorate all the visitors with sandalwood paste. So when he was grinding, suddenly he saw one young boy who came there and lifting his hand, asking Tulsidas to apply chandan. So when he was seeing that boy, he went into mesmerization. Suddenly this boy picked up the chandan and applied to the face of Tulsidas. And Hanuman was there as a parrot nearby, not wanting to miss the opportunity. He started reciting one verse which became very famous. He said, on the opportunity of this river, where Tulsidas is grinding the chandan, and Lord Ramachandra is applying that chandan to Tulsidas. It is called as Doha, a verse. So that became very popular, and when Tulsidas came out of the consciousness and he saw that small boy, that it is Lord Ramachandra himself, then he became very happy that he could have darshan of Lord Ramachandra. So it is said that in various perspectives, when he was trying to compose Ramcharitmanas, whenever there is a situation where he could not get the next part of the verse, he could only compile half verse, Hanuman was coming and giving that input, what would be the next part of the verse. So he became so ardent devotee of Hanuman. So the king of Delhi put him into jail. And he said, I heard that you are a very good magician, you are good at showing tricks. I wanted to see one trick from you, one magic from you. So this person said, no, I am not a magician, I am a simple devotee, I write songs and I glorify the Lord with songs. I am not a magician. But that king was very adamant, Nawab. So finally, understanding the situation, he was put into jail. So for 40 days, he was glorifying Hanuman with 40 verses. That became Hanuman Chalisa. Chalisa means 40 verses. And after 40th day, it is said that so many monkeys attacked Delhi that they destroyed the entire Delhi around surroundings and all. They had never seen so many monkeys in Delhi area. So the king, when he got to know that so many monkeys had attacked Delhi and everywhere they are creating nuisance, he went and opened the jail. He went to Tulsidas and he said, yes, you have done a miracle. So like that, see, devotees are there to help the other devotees. This is one of their principle of compassion. This is one of their principle of supporting the other devotees who are weak in spiritual life. So the more we learn about Krishna consciousness, it is our responsibility to teach others. See, you have gained through experience. Do you want others also to go through that same experience, or do you want to give them an opportunity to learn it faster? It would have taken me 10-15 years to come to that understanding. Or if you can share that experience, somebody can pick up that level in 2-3 years. It would be very beneficial for them. Why they have to go through the same experience of 10-15 years? So that is the Vaishnava perspective. They share and they care for other devotees. So similarly, even Samartha Ramadas was also a great devotee of Hanuman. His before name was, Samartha Ramadas' before name was Narayana. When his family wanted to get him married, he became very vexed up. He did not want to get married. He ran away from the house. He went to a nearby forest and he wanted to commit suicide. So feeling compassionate, Hanuman came there and he said, why you want to die yourself? So that he explained his desire, ardent desire to have darshan of the Lord, and he could not fulfill that. Then Hanuman guided him to go to Nasik Panchavati. This is the second home of Lord Ramachandra in the forest. You go there, you get an opportunity to have darshan of Rama. So Narayan went to Panchavati in the river Godavari. He did tapasya for so many years, it seems, some 10 to 12 years. He was chanting Ramanama. He was immersed into the water up to the neck in all round the seasons. And he regulated himself in such a way that Hanuman was daily coming 3 times a day for 12 years and he was observing him, whether he is doing perfectly or not. It is said that after 12 years, when his body became completely purified, Hanuman entered into his body and gave him an opportunity to have darshan of Lord Ramachandra there. Then Lord Ramachandra blessed him by saying, from today you will be Ramadasa. Or else his name was Narayan. So he became Samartha Ramadasa. See how these circumstances, how devotees help the other perspectives. So if we are sincere, help will come to us. If we are serious, guidance will come to us. So we have to be very sincere and serious in our devotional perspectives. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। गीताय गौर प्रेमानंद।
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్